Hey everyone, this is Jeremy. I am going to show you a playthrough of this game that I've been obsessing over called Darkest Dungeon. Darkest Dungeon is a game that just got an early release on Steam. It was funded through Kickstarter, which is something I always appreciate. Basically, you are an heir to this estate that you see right here, but it is overrun with monsters, so you recruit these travelers that come through. Um, and you try to weed out all the skeletons and fungal creatures, zombies that are inhabiting these areas. The cool thing about this game is that you have to manage both these people's physical health, but also their mental health. If you see here, we look at Reynold, who is our crusader. He has all these skills which you can unlock and upgrade and everything, and he has these quirks. Some of them are positive. He's a warrior of light, which gives him percentage pluses to things. But he also has drawbacks, like he's a kleptomaniac, so he's prone to stealing items, and now he's fragile because his HP is not as good as it could be if he was not fragile. So you have to balance the character's strengths and weaknesses. You see Dismas or Dimas, I'm not sure if it's French or something like that. He's a highwayman, so he's got a kind of like the cloak and dagger kind of guy. And the other thing you have to keep in mind is their stress levels, aside from their quirks. These guys have very little health, stress. But as you take them through dungeons, they're going to get more and more, uncomfortable, and you have to manage that, because if you let their stress get to 100%, right now he's at 4 out of 100, when he gets to 100% stress, he's going to break more often than not, and he's going to go through something bad. For example, some of them might get paranoid, or they become abusive to everyone else in the party, and they give everyone a bad time. So you normally have a party of 4. Since we're starting a brand new game, we don't have anyone else to choose from except for who we have here. So just a quick introduction: we have the Crusader. He is particularly good with fighting the unholy, so skeleton things. Then you have Dimas, who is our highwayman. He does a lot of pistol shot things, so his attacks are kind of like ranged attacks or area of effect kind of things. Then we have Ferrers, our Vestal, which is like this traveling nun, I guess, and she is our cleric. So she has a lot of holy attack kind of things. And then we have Verdun, who is our plague doctor, and she does things like blight and stun, which is status effect sort of things. She does some buffs, but all you have some unlockable traits and things like that. So I guess now one thing we can do is bump up our guy. Oh, we actually can't do that yet. Yeah, I just remembered. You have a guild and you have a blacksmith, but he has to be unlocked. So now all we really have open is the graveyard, which is just kind of looking at things that are dead. We can't actually do much. So for now, let's just go to the stagecoach and boost this up. The hero barracks gives us, we can hold more heroes at a time, and the stagecoach network allows more people to come in after every time we delve into a dungeon. So we'll have more people to choose from. We're low on resources. Here you can see there are busts, there are portraits, deeds, and crests, and you collect those when you go out on adventures. So let's do that right now before I bore you guys too much. We have nothing to take an inventory. Okay. So now from here, the only thing we can do is go to the ruins. The ruins, if we complete the quest, we have to go through every single room battle. We're going to get 3,000 gold, 2 busts, and 2 crests. These people like to go in particular orders. For example, you can see that Reynold likes being in the front, so let's put him right up there. Next is Dimas. He likes being in the middle. Ferrers likes to be third from last, and Verdun doesn't mind. So we're actually going to put them in this order and send them off into the ruins. So the second part of the game, which is dungeon delving, requires you to go through provisions and do a dungeon crawl. So I'm going to show you how that works. right now. Okay, so you need food to feed your guys. You're going to be prompted to eat or starve, so you got to make sure you have food. You need torches to provide light, and then these are utility items. You're going to see what I mean as we go into the ruins. It is going to be fairly simple, I assume, because this is the first level outside the tutorial. It's a great game. You'll see how the stress comes into play once you get into the fights. So now we are in the dungeon. You see up here that our radiant light is that way because we have 100%. We're completely lit up. As we travel, this is going to dwindle down, and stress levels go up. Things get more difficult that way. So you want to make sure that you have a good amount of light at all times, unless you want to make the game more difficult for yourself. Down here below, we have the map of the dungeon. So what you do is you click on what room you want to approach, and then you have a hallway to go through. Okay. So there's a pile of rubble in front of us. We use the shovel to remove that. If we didn't have the shovel, then everyone would have to do it by hand, and it would hurt them physically and mentally. So we don't want that. Next we have a book. A stack of literary treasures in an unlikely location. We can just pick it up, or we can try to use medicinal herbs or holy water if we don't trust it. I think I'm just going to take it. Unfortunately, Farah's read an unsettling passage, and now she's a little more stressed out. So she is at 44 out of 100 compared to everyone else who was like less than 10. So that was too bad, but you know, you gotta take the chance. Okay, this is our first fight. We have the option to do a bunch of stuff now. So Dimas has this thing called Open Vein. It's a melee attack, but the cool thing is that it has a chance to bleed the opponent. Unfortunately, these are unholy creatures that do not bleed. They're 100% resistant, as you can see here. But normally, it's good because it deals more damage over time. So we're just going to do an area effect attack with our Grape Shot and just spread some damage out. Now Farah's has a few things. She has Judgment, it deals damage and she heals herself at the same time. Then we have Dazzling Light. It can potentially stun somebody, and then it also boosts our Torch. Since no one's hurt, I say we can't do that unless we want to do Illumination. Let's do that and hit the Bone Courtier in the back. The Bone Courtier, I know, likes to, you'll see here, Tempting Goblet. If it hits the opponent, or it hits us, it's going to increase our stress levels, and we don't want that. So let us try to keep him stunned so that he basically skips his turn. Or actually, that was Blight. That was my mistake. Alright, so we have Renaud's area of effect, which is Zealous Accusation, I believe. Okay, and now he's dead. Alright, so that was easy. And we get our spoils, and we continue on. Yeah, what does Verdun have? Noxious Blast and Plague Grenade. Okay, so she does not have any stun spells or stun attacks, but that's fine. I personally like stun because it has someone skip a turn. But Blight works here as well. Unfortunately, we do not have another shovel. We're going to have to do it by hand. And that's going to stress everyone else. And now our torchlight is down. So, yeah, as you can see, now that we're at dim light, there's a little bit of stress. So let's pop this torch, keep everyone calm, and light our way. Okay, I guess that didn't matter. That's kind of weird. Anyways, a stack of literary treasures in an unlikely location. Let's see how the holy water works. No effect. And I wasted it. That's unfortunate. Okay. And it screws us over anyway. Okay, well that sucks. Alright, just so everyone knows, don't use holy water on books. Okay, unfortunately we got surprised because our light was not as good as it could have been, and it scrambled us up a little bit. That comes in. Okay, that's a problem because, for example, Renaud cannot do anything from this position, so we have to waste a turn to move him up to the front. However, Verdun can do something from where she is. We're going to try to blight these guys to do some incremental damage. Thankfully, they're both blighted now. Dimas cannot do anything. Well, actually, he can do a lot. I just kind of prefer him up in the front. because the accuracy is better, as you can tell. Furs is not so hot over here, but we don't have to waste any time moving her because no one's really hurt yet. So she may as well stay up in the front for now and dish out some damage. Okay, so the Arbalist takes the blight damage and then fires a good shot at Demas, which is not good. And you can see here their speed. Their speed's 5. There's just 1, so I'm not sure how they're moving faster than us, but they are. I guess it was the end of the round. Anyways, let's try to do some damage again here with Demas. And okay, it seems like they're targeting our guys in the back, which we don't want because it's like the same person over and over. Yeah, we're probably going to have to move Ferrer's back so that she can heal our Plague Doctor. Meanwhile, let's just take care of this rabble. Okay, it's one less thing to worry about. And let's try to get rid of this rabble as well. Cool. Yeah, I like picking off the smaller guys with straight up damage and like blighting or stunning, doing some sort of like status effect on the things that are more of a threat. In which case, the Arbalists. But you know, I'm sure everyone does things differently. Yeah, he cannot do anything over here. Let's bring him to the front. Okay, out of the way now. That's good. Okay, we got some stuff. Don't remember if she was. Yeah, she's fine where she is. Okay, so this is the original order we wanted. Let's pop that torch we just got and continue on our way. And we got a treasure chest, and of course we gotta fight for it. Okay, so these guys are human, so they can bleed. So let's try to get some bleed damage on the brawler. That way we can focus on everyone else. Okay, the Acolyte does stress damage as well. This is that priestess here. Meanwhile, he does attacks that may cause bleeding. So let's throw a plague grenade back here. Okay, we got one of them blighted, and let's get a party heal. So we could all use that a little bit. And when we are done with this dungeon, we can upgrade everyone's abilities once we unlock the guild hall and the blacksmith, I believe. So for now, we're just going to have to deal with our mediocre attacks and other abilities. Let's smite this soldier. Hopefully we can take him out entirely. Oh, we were one damage shy. Okay, plague grenade, noxious blast. Let's get rid of the soldier. Pick off the weaklings. Okay. Let's see if we can shoot the Acolyte, because I don't want her to... let's try to bleed her. Unless we can deal more damage this way. Yeah, no, let's try to bleed her. Ah, that's too bad. Okay, he's gone. Excellent. This is exactly what I like to see. Bayonet jab. Yeah, now the Arbalist is forced to come up to the front. He really can't do as much damage. Okay, so she likes shuffling us around. Unfortunately, Ronald's all the way in the back, and he can't do anything from over there. Let's keep her healing everyone. Thankfully, we aren't blighted or bleeding or anything like that. Okay. Let's try it again. Let's see if we can get her bleeding a little bit. Good. And so she's going to be taking, I think it said 2 damage per round. But let's just try to get her blighted as well, so she doesn't even get to do anything on her turn. Awesome. Yep, that's exactly what I wanted to see. Incremental damage. Do not mess around with it. It is not a joke. Okay, let's just get him out of the way and take whatever's in that chest, because we deserve it. Because we're worth it. Awesome. Okay, apparently we did all the Interesting. We completed our objective, but we could keep exploring. Interesting. Interesting. I say we keep going. Because worst case scenario, we have like another fight to go through. I know we have to right here, but if we did all the room battles, if anything, we'll just be finding more treasure. So let's get rid of this hallway battle, and then just see what else we can scoop up before we go back to the town. We're in pretty good standing. The Plague Doctor's something to worry about, but overall, I think we're in good shape. But we'll see how we are after this battle. Blech. Cannot speak. Okay, that wasn't good. So when we get crits, I don't know if I've noticed or mentioned this before, everyone else gets stressed out. So that's something we don't want to have happen. So let's try to end this as quickly as possible. Okay, we got them blighted. I think we're going to use Zealous Accusation from Renaud to take out both these rabbles, if I can help it, and then just wear these guys down in the back with the blight. Yeah, honestly, just have her keep healing. It's not a lot, but every bit helps. Okay, that was good. And yeah, we're gonna do at least 5-10 damage, so that should knock them both out. Good. That's what I like to see. Okay, let's get a blanket attack. Okay, not quite enough. Good. They've been missing a lot, so I think we should be fine. Get another party heal. And okay, it's not quite enough to take him out, but pretty much as long as we land something, it's gonna kill him again, because they are zombies, zomboids. Very nice, excellent. Okay, so at any time we can just click this and go back home, but I want to push them a little bit more. Damn it. Okay. So, by the way, I should mention this stress doesn't go away after you leave the dungeon. You have to address it when you get back, and you do that by taking them to the tavern or the abbey. They all have preferred ways of dealing with stress, so that's something to keep in mind. Some characters are not allowed to do certain things. For example, Dimas cannot go to gamble because he is a known cheat. So that's, these quirks are something to keep in mind when you're managing all these characters. Let's go in here. Let's avoid this fight right here. That's what this means. Let's just go to the left and just try to loot around a little bit more. Get some more goodies. Awesome. Okay, let's pop this torch. I paid so much for it, may as well get some use out of it. Disarming traps. Okay, some of these guys are better at disarming traps than others. This is okay. For example, our Plague Doctor is a 15% chance. Not so good. I feel like the Highwayman might be good. 30%. Huh. Let's see if anyone can do it better. She absolutely cannot do it at all. That's hilarious. And Renaud cannot do it as well either. Okay, so we have best chances with Dimas, and he gets hit anyway. Fair enough. Screw it. Let's just get to the room. Okay, like I mentioned before, you will get prompted once in a while to eat. If you don't have food, then they take damage and they get really stressed out. So, buy plenty of food. Feed your adventures. Okay. A partially intact set of experimental equipment. Let's see how the additional medicinal herbs work. They disinfect the station. Allowing successful research. Awesome. Okay. Pop that. Disarm that? Nope, wasn't able to. Okay, he's not having a good time. Okay, one last thing. Let's have Ferris do it. A forsaken confession booth. It hasn't been used in years. Blights, poisons, and toxins. Staunch the flow of bleeding. Let's see if that does anything. Nope. Does not do anything. What about the anti-venom? Nope. Just wasting it all, throwing it all away. Just go inside. Okay, and unfortunately, she has an existential crisis. Okay. I say we just leave. We got some extra goodies. Alright, so now you can tell we got our quest rewards on top of whatever we gathered on our own. So we got, 6,250 gold on top of whatever else we had before this dungeon, and we get all these heirlooms, which you use to pay for upgrades in town. Let's see. Okay. So it looks like when we do this, they get good and bad buffs. So I'm not sure if we really want to do something like that. I mean, you can eventually pay to get those bad quirks removed. Okay, Tavern and Abbey is unlocked. So here you can tell that you drag someone over to one of these 3 things, and you gotta pay them gold, and they get rid of the stress levels. So let's take a look at Farah's. She will not pray or flagellate for stress relief. She will only drink. She's not a very good priestess. Thankfully, we can put her in the bar and put her that way, and she's fine. Before I put anyone else, let's go to the stagecoach and see who else we can recruit. Okay, 3 new people. We have the leper. I think the thing with the leper is that he does not have good accuracy. Yeah, actually 65. This guy only has 1 attack. I would have to pay to get other ones. Yeah, bad accuracy, but good chance of critting. Interesting. Then we have our Hellion. I actually really like the Hellion. Her deal is that she does bleed damage. She does some self buffs. She's pretty interesting, actually. I kind of like her. And she can take the place of... She likes being in the front. So she can take the place of whoever likes normally being in the front, like Ronald. So we can give Ronald a break and send him somewhere. Then we have Demors, who is a jester, and he does some bleed stuff, so you can see here, but then he also does buffs for the party. And that could be interesting. So let's take him. Let's leave Neville away, because I don't really care about him. And then the Abbey stress relief. I think Ronald will only, he will only pray. And apparently I can't do that because of this caretaker. Yeah, I don't know what the big the thing is, but apparently his caretaker takes a random spot every time you go and visit, so we cannot let him rest yet. So that is unfortunate, unless I get rid of the quirk. But I'm not able to do that because the sanitarium is still unlocked. Okay. Well, Verdun is not really doing so good. Alright. Let's take him because, why not, I guess. And let's get this guy to chill. He's not allowed to gamble, obsessed with cleanliness, obsessed with material things. Okay, let's have him gamble then. Oh no, he's not allowed to. Okay, he can go to the brothel. And let's see. Verdun likes to do stuff in the back. Hahaha. That was dirty. Okay. So I guess our roster would be this. Okay. You're not letting me move. No, that's because I'm here. Okay. Let's get her in the front for the next battle. Ronald's next. He doesn't mind. Okay, he only really likes being in the front. Verdun might just have to deal. No, yeah, I can't even stress him anyway. Decisions, man. Yeah, she's just gonna have to relax, and hopefully she won't get freaked out. Okay, before I do anything, let's go to the guild. Nope, I can't do that yet, damn it. Very well, then we have no choice. We must go out and embark, as is. Now we have options. We could clear 90% of rooms. We can scout, which is another clear 90% of rooms. This is 100% of room battles. You can see the rewards change depending on what missions you're going for. So I'm going to leave this here, and if this is interesting, people want to see more, I will definitely upload more videos. Until then, that's it.